And officials are warning it will likely be challenging all summer long as airlines scramble to hire additional pilots and personnel. Sue Guzman, Fox News.
Now, almost every day of this holiday weekend, there was more airline travel than last year until yesterday. It was a little more in 2021 on the 4th of July. Friday was very busy. The TSA reports 2.49 million passengers went through checkpoints, most of any day during the pandemic. The last time the number was higher than that, February 14th, 2020. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
In 1 minute. WPTV's First Alert Weather on WSTU is brought to you by Sailfish Roofing, offering excellence, honesty, and integrity in everything they do. Sailfish Roofing, 772-263-ROOF. Community roofing company you can trust. Sailfish Roofing. Now here's WPTV's First Alert meteorologist.
Your WPTV First Alert forecast. This afternoon, highs in the low 90s, heat index values in the triple digits, some inland showers and storms possible, mainly west of 95 and the Turnpike. We should have no weather worries for the fireworks shows this evening. Tomorrow and Wednesday, highs in the upper 80s to low 90s. Rain chances increase as moisture associated with the tropical wave pushes into the area. Scattered showers and storms near the coast in the morning with the bulk of the rain pushing west towards the lake for the afternoon hours. I'm WPTV First Alert meteorologist Katya Hall for WSTU 1450, Martin County's Heritage Station.
You are listening to WSTU, Stewart, Jupiter, and Indiantown, Martin County's Heritage Station.
The opinions expressed are those of the show's host and not the staff or management of Port St. Lucie Broadcasters. Any reproduction without written consent of WSTU and WPSL is strictly prohibited. Now it's time for Quality of Life Radio, brought to you by Cigna and Aetna Medicare. Here are your hosts, Gary Owen and Tom Bouvier.
Hello and good morning to all of our Treasure Coast friends and our friends throughout the state of Florida and the 47 countries that are tuning in this morning on the world-famous Quality of Life radio show. I'm your host, Gary Owen.
And I'm your co-host, Tom Bouvier.
And by the way, we hope that you had an extraordinary Independence Day holiday, a very long extended weekend. July 5th is the day, so it's 186th day of 2022. And there are only 179 days left of this year. My question to you is, what are you going to do with those 179 days? Hopefully it will be interesting. So, Tom, we are here streaming live in the studio, downtown Stewart, as we always do on a Tuesday morning. People are tuning in on WSTU 1450 and WPSL 1590. And there are some phenomenal peeps that are watching us live in the studio on Facebook Live. You can also follow us at Quality of Life Radio Show. And, Tom, we're here every Tuesday.
Yes, we are, Gary. We love it here. We love the studio. We love our guests. We love our producers and everyone that helps.
We love Evan Nine because he's here all the time.
And Iggy, awesome producer. And so we do come here every Tuesday morning, Gary, on our radio show to help bring relevant content to our listeners. This is information that people can really use in their life. And secondly, we love to support and showcase local business owners, nonprofit organizations, politicians, whoever is willing to come on the show and sit in the hot seat. But we'll be introducing our guest here in a moment.
Is she sitting in the hot seat?
She is in the hot seat. We're cranking up the heat right now.
About 125 degrees right now.
She'll be feeling it, yeah, like one of those seat heaters in your car. And lastly, of course, Gary, you and I, we love to talk about insurance planning, education, information about insurance options that really do improve people's quality of life, and thus the name of our show, Quality of Life Radio Show.
Yeah, and we're going to share some information with everyone this morning about life insurance. We're going to be myth busters today. So we're going to share some myths and facts. And our guest, actually, it was weird because she says, I can talk about life insurance this morning. I'm like, well, how did you know that's what our topic was? So we'll be bringing her in some of that conversation this morning. And by the way, we're going to share the second segment of our show is some fun health facts, and then also our Did You Know segment. So this morning, because in honor of Independence Day, we are going to share with you 9 fun and quirky facts about Independence Day. And then I'll share with you that on one of those quirky facts, 3 U.S. presidents died on July 4th. So stay tuned for that. We got some cool information to share with you on that. And then also a fun health fact we're going to share later on the show is about a dirty mouth. So you may want to think twice before kissing someone. In French, kissing is out. Sarah, just letting you know that this morning. No French kissing allowed on the show this morning. All right, so we're really delighted this morning to have Sarah Brickman with us in studio. She's the operations manager for Titan Pressure Washing. And let's say good morning to Sarah.
Good morning to Sarah.
Good morning, Sarah.
Good morning.
So, it's been a long holiday. You got to get your head back in the game. Back in the game.
Charged and back.
So,
focused.
Sarah, tell our listening audience and those that are those peeping toms that are looking in the studio this morning.
Peeping.
They're peeping toms. Tell them a little bit about yourself, who you are, where you're from. We want to know who Sarah Brickman is.
All right. Well, first of all, I'm from West Palm Beach, so
wow.
This is my 4th time living in Florida. Though I keep going out of state and out of country, and then coming back in.
State and country.
So state and country. I've probably lived in some of the 47
countries. Yeah.
So I've been in 78 countries.
What?
So I ran an international nonprofit for a while, and now helping my husband run Titan Pressure Washing. So
international, woo, that is amazing.
So yeah, I'd love to know what countries those are that we've got listeners, because maybe some of my friends this morning, maybe they're listening and seeing me.
I'm sure they are.
I'm sure you've probably been in every country that's tuning in.
Possibly. So yeah, native Floridian. I just love being in Florida. I love being back. I love the beach. This is my happy place. So, traveled all over. I've been in the medical field. I've been in commercial real estate. Now I'm in pressure washing.
So, quick question for you. Which state and which country did you like the best in your international national travel?
Okay, well, state, Florida.
Okay.
So, gotta say that.
So how many states were you in out of the 50 states? I mean,
in or living in?
Living in.
Living in full-time 3.
3, okay.
I've lived in 2 of them 4 times.
Okay.
I just kept bouncing back and forth.
Love-hate
shout out to Texas.
going on. Oh, Texas. Well,
yeah, shout out to Texas
New York
there.
City. I mean,
all right, so we're Texas friends?
Yeah.
All right, then.
I will say, though, one of my favorite countries living in was Australia. I was down there for 2 years.
Down under, huh?
Yes, I was down under for 2 years. Yeah.
I loved it.
I love it. I was living in Brisbane.
And
down in Sydney quite a bit.
Queensland, right?
Yes. I was up on the Great Barrier Reef.
I got a speeding ticket from them a month after I came home.
Oh, see, I was there for 2 years. I didn't get any speeding
tickets. Did you
tickets.
pay for it, Tom?
I did. I rented a car. I was there for a couple of weeks, driving all around Brisbane mainly.
Yeah.
And the Gold Coast.
Gold Coast,
yeah. I loved it. I almost moved there myself. And all of a sudden I get this really cool looking letter, and it this high English. Queensland's, county prosecutors elects Thomas Rene Bouvier as the driver, and then they show a picture. It's one of those.
So you thought you were nominated for something important,
yes,
but really
and
you
it
were
was
getting
like
nailed
I had
for
to
traffic.
pay, so I had to go to the post office for a speeding ticket, and they had the cameras. And they sure enough, they showed the picture of me driving with my buddy there, and the back, license plate, and it was the rent-a-car on that day at that time, speeding on the Queensland freeway.
Now, were you driving an automatic or stick shift?
Automatic.
Okay, see, I drove a stick shift while I was there, and I can't get those going fast enough, so that's probably why I didn't get a speeding ticket.
Enough, so anyway, Queensland.
So yeah, love Australia and Florida. So.
Yeah. I'll say I've never been to Australia, and I want to do some scuba diving.
Yes, I did that on the Great Barrier Reef with the sharks at night, which my grandmother paid for and didn't know she was paying for. So God bless her when she found out.
You found her credit card?
Well, no, she paid for me to go on a sailboat for a few days on the Great Barrier Reef as a Christmas gift, and she didn't know while I was there I was going to be diving with the sharks and snorkeling and doing night dives.
That sounds fantastic. So you were open water diver?
was doing it uncertified.
Gotcha. but that's interesting, man. That's a really cool place. I mean, it has to be spectacular.
It was beautiful. It was beautiful, and the pictures are phenomenal.
Wow.
Yeah.
Get ready to spend a whole day in the air.
Yeah.
Almost.
Yeah, it's like traveling to Victoria to get there. It was an 18-hour travel day. But, with what's going on in travel. By the way, for those of you out there who are thinking about traveling, air travel, stay home. Please, stay home. So you don't get aggravated. It is a nightmare out there right now. So, all right, Sarah, now that we've got that out of the way, now tell us a little bit about the operations manager at Titan Pressure Washing. I mean, how long, what got you guys into doing Titan Pressure Washing? How long you been around? And how do you get along with your husband working together?
So, well, it's always interesting working with a spouse, but I think we do well. We have clear-cut roles, and so he tries not to go into my role. I try not to go into his role, and so I do all of the back end. He does the front end. So we started back in January. We moved back here last year, and he had a company for 12 years in California where he was doing pressure washing and detailing. So it was his natural background. So when he and I wanted to start a business here, it was like, okay, what should we do? Well, let's do what you know. What do you know? And he's fantastic at it. We're both perfectionists. We're both detail oriented. So it works out for folks in South Florida to get their roofs cleaned properly, and to know that every little bit is taken off of that roof. We do a deep clean and not just a roof clean that's, a general clean that's going to appease your HOA. We are there for the homeowner, because you've got your house, that's a huge asset, and then you've got the roof that's over your head, and that's kind of an important part of the house. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people just don't realize what can happen to your roof if you don't have it properly cleaned, and how often you're going to have damage up there, and then how soon you're going to have to replace it. And nobody wants to spend $40,000 to $60,000 right now to replace their roof, but they only want to spend a small amount of money to clean it, and it doesn't make sense, because if you want it done right, you're gonna get what you pay for. So
extends the life of the roof.
It extends the life of the roof, and that's what people don't understand, is that the organic materials on there are eating into your roof, especially if you've got a tile roof. It is eating into it and destroying it, and people think it's kind of like sits on top.
Sarah, how often should the average roof be cleaned?
Well, it depends on whether they get a regular clean or a deep clean. I mean, with our deep clean, you can go 3+ years without getting it cleaned again, because we kill 100% of what is up there. So if you're killing 100%, it's going to take a long time for that to grow back. If you're having just, Joe Blow come up and do a kind of good enough for the HOA job, you're going to need to have it done every year, because he's not killing everything. Except your landscaping. He'll kill that for you.
By the way, I got a question between deep clean and a regular clean. Before we get that, though, is your husband listening?
He's supposed to be.
What's his name?
I believe so. Casey.
Casey. Just a shout out to Casey this morning.
Yes, he is the brains behind it.
But you're the boss.
Behind everything. Well, I'm always the boss. Yes.
Casey, if you get a chance, if you want to call into the show, and if you dispute anything that she's saying, you can feel free to pick up the phone and dial us here in the studio at 772-220-WSTU or 9788. All right. So difference between a deep clean and a regular clean.
So a regular clean, a lot of these guys are going to get up and, like I said, they're going to clean what the HOA sees. So you may have 7 to 10 feet. Well, visually see. So maybe the first 7 to 10 feet is going to get really cleaned that you can see from the street, and then other sides on the backside, on the sides, are not going to get as clean. They're also going to use very, very different chemicals than what we're using. We're using chemicals that not only kill everything, but are good for extending that clean. We're also rinsing the roof, and that's a big thing when you're talking about what's going on in your roof. You think, oh, well, surely they're going to clean it and then rinse it. No, they're not. A lot of them are going to leave their harmful chemicals on your roof to let them keep working. We don't need to, because we're getting it while we're there. Everything is being killed while we're there. So before we leave, we rinse it and we neutralize your roof, so that the next rain you have with their chemicals, it's all going to come down, and there goes your landscaping. It may not have been ruined the day they were there, but it gets ruined after. Now, sometimes it gets ruined on both days. But with us, we've got a 4-step process to make sure that your landscaping is protected while we're cleaning. And then we're going to rinse the roof, neutralize it, and neutralize the plants. So the next rain, you have maybe a little bit of soap suds coming down your drains, but you don't have those harmful chemicals. And so we're not only taking care of your roof and your investment, we're taking care of the investment you have of your landscaping, which can be quite expensive.
Sure.
Yeah.
You're telling me.
Yeah.
There's a lot of money involved in landscaping.
Yeah. And we want to make sure
A
that
lot of
things.
sweat.
Yeah, we don't want
you're
those
not kidding.
chemicals coming down and harming people's pets either, because it is going to come down
Right.
onto their patio, their pool area. Their pets are going to walk on it, bring it back in, lick their paws. Their kids, same thing. They're going to be playing in it. Who wants to have that happen to their kids?
So you do a lot of small businesses as well as large
Yes.
businesses as well. When we come back from our first break of the show, we'll kind of dive into that and we'll let our listening audience know, what you're doing out there and who you're helping and so forth. So stay tuned. You're listening to the the world famous Quality of Life radio show. We'll be back in 30 seconds. Don't touch that dial.
Hello, this is Gary Owen of the Owen Insurance Group. We are a local independent insurance agency located right here on the Treasure Coast. I've been a resident here for 34 years and have helped thousands of clients with their insurance planning needs. We specialize in life, health, and Medicare insurance planning. Don't travel the road alone. Let us be your guide. We are the Owen Insurance Group. Contact us today at 772-210-1020 or visit our website at oweninsurancegroup.net.
You are listening to WSTU, Stewart, Jensen Beach, Hope Sound, Martin County's Heritage Station.
All right, welcome back to the Quality of Life radio show, you lovely, despicable people. All right, so we are in the studio this morning with Sarah Brickman. She is the operations manager, the boss for Titan Pressure Washing, and the boss of KC as well. So at the break, I was asking her some of the businesses that they've done and what their focus is, whether it's businesses or consumers. So, Sarah, tell us a little bit about some of the. I know you got a bank job. You just did a bank job. Or you got another one coming up.
Yeah, a couple months ago we did a bank job.
Did you get caught?
Well, I was a getaway driver, and I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good.
We got our mugshot right here.
So yeah, we did Connect Credit Union here in Stewart. And we did the whole property, the roof, the exterior. We cleaned the sidewalks, the gutters, the aprons when you drive in, all of the curb stops. Everything top to bottom. Cleaned that, and you can see before and after pictures of that on our website.
Yeah, you guys did a good job on that.
Thank you. Recently did Gary Law Firm as well, top to bottom on the exterior of theirs as well. And we're looking at more and more of the commercial. We do the residential a lot right now, especially with our roof sealing. So we're sealing the tile roofs, just something a lot of our competitors are not doing. So
Do you do anything beside tile?
We do,
Or
yeah.
residential?
We clean any type of roof.
Any type,
So
okay.
any type. So whether it's a metal roof, a tile roof, a tar roof, whatever kind of roof, we clean them all. Here in South Florida, a lot of the ones that we're being asked to clean are the tile roofs because those are the ones that the HOAs are really, seeing the grime on, and so
Right.
those are the ones that they
you
flag.
keep saying you're killing stuff up there. What are you actually killing?
We're killing all of the organic material that's up there, all of the mold and growth and the lichen, just everything that's up there that's eating into it. You can see, especially like on the side of the tile, the part that faces you when you're looking up at the roof, you can see the flat part, but then you can see those ridges. You know, I just call them ridges so we don't get into technical terms. But just the ridges, you can see all of those. And again, a cheaper guy is going to get what's on the roof, and they're not going to bother with all those ridges. I mean, we're getting every part of that tile. And then now we're also sealing the roof, the tile roofs. And so when you seal that, you create a hydrophobic layer so water can't sit on the tile. So you know when it rains and the tile changes color, no longer does if your roof is sealed, because the water is not penetrating that tile, which means you can't get growth. If water can't sit there, nothing can grow. If nothing can grow, guess what? You don't need a cleaning.
And a lot of people have trees over their roofs, and that makes it even worse.
And then you've got the little seeds and the pods and everything coming down, and then those are planting things. So again, those can't grow because they're not being mixed with any form of water. So the ceiling also has 2 UV protectants in it, so it's giving you protection from the sun. You don't have anything growing. You don't have the water damage. You don't have the chemicals from the cleanings. And so we go back and we will blow off, like after the storm, the seeds and different things. We'll go back annually and blow that off and then touch up the ceiling. And what that can do is you're not having the damage to your roof. It can actually extend the life of your roof anywhere from like 3 to 10 years, depending on the age of your roof and the condition we find it in when we seal it.
So when you do the deep cleaning and the sealing, do you guarantee a certain period of time that is going to stand up and withstand the elements?
So it's hard to provide a guarantee because there's so many factors that are outside of our control, but we work with customers to make sure that they're happy with the service we provide. And if they've got problems and they contact us, we always work to resolve those, which I say always. I mean, it's been 1 or 2. It's not very much. Yeah. But part of the way to keep that is annually going back and just blowing that off for them and just providing a touch up to any spot that may be more troublesome, like those under a tree. And then that way it just maintains it, because with the maintenance you don't have to provide any type of warranty, because we're constantly watching it, making sure it's doing what it's supposed to be doing.
And then how long does it take to get you guys out there? I mean, our listening audience, there's somebody right now that's definitely interested in having you come over, so I want to invite you guys over to take a look at my roof.
Yeah, give us a call. We provide in-person estimates. I don't like in-person, that impersonal feel over the phone where I can just measure your roof and be like, yep, that's my standard cost. We have different factors that weigh the cost, but I go out and do an in-person the same day you call or the day after, depending on the time that you call. And we save spots every week. So there's certain spots that we fill up, and then there's other spots we save for HOA letters. People tend to wait till the last minute, and they're like, oh, yeah, it has to be done by Sunday. Can you get out? Yes, I can. I've got spots available for you. And then emergencies, if someone has something that happens, a lot of people, they call other places and they're like, yeah, we're 3-4 weeks booked, which is great. So are we. But we save those spots. So we can still be fully booked and save those spots for people so that they can get the help they need and get those things taken care of. Nobody wants the HOA hounding them. Right. We want to help you get the nasty grams off your desk and get your HOA happy with you again. And you happy with your roof, because now you don't have to worry about getting one of those for years.
Who wants to have an ugly-looking home in the community? Everyone else's roof's looking nice, and you scumbag, you got a dirty roof. Come on, shape up.
Yeah.
We're ship out.
Well, and people just need to realize it's not about keeping the HOA off your back. This is your investment.
Yeah,
I can't
man.
believe how much the homes are going for down here right now.
Pride
and you want your roof to last, so you need to think about that when you're looking at paying this much, but you have to pay for it once or twice every 1 to 2 years, or you can pay this price and it's once every 3 years. Like, you've got to do the math. You've got to do the math, people, because
it's like buying the that cheap water that you put in your car for the car wash or windshield wiper. It's just probably water with blue dye in it versus Rain-X.
Yeah.
You put Rain-X in there, and boy, when the rain comes, it just shoots off.
And it's funny you mentioned that, because Rain-X is basically how the seal works on the tile. That's exactly how it works.
That's very cool. So is there, for the consumers out here, they're thinking, oh my gosh, I can't afford it, four-step process, and and it's going to cost more money for me. What's the typical cost for an average roof, you think? Less than $10,000? Less than
It's definitely less than
$2,000?
$10,000. I mean, are you talking about cleaning? Are you talking about sealing? I mean, what are you talking
sealing,
about?
yeah. So if someone wants to
Okay.
have their roof cleaned and sealed and good to last a good 3 years, what's typical cost of that? And
I mean,
obviously, because the size of the roof vary.
Well, here's the thing people don't realize too. When it comes to cost, is we've got a cost of chemicals that's completely outside of our control right now, and with the increase of costs, everything's going up. You've got wages, which right now are skyrocketing, and then you've got everything on our truck. It's a custom-made truck that Casey designed. Everything on the truck is powered by gas and diesel. So we've got those costs as well. So we are trying to keep the cost as low as we can, but it's going to depend on square footage. But let me just say, where some guys are charging $250 every 1 to 2 years, we're charging that same size $450, but you get 3+ years out of it, and you're getting a deep clean that's protecting your roof. So it really just depends on the size of the roof.
That sounds very reasonable.
Now I
thought you were going to say a lot more.
No, and that's where I say compared to what some of them are charging.
Right.
Now it goes up from there. I mean, it depends.
Sure.
Part of it depends on the type of roof you have, because some are a lot easier to clean than the others, and so part of it is based on difficulty, pitch, number of stories you have, how bad it is. I mean, like when we did the bank job, the roof on there hadn't been done in probably 15 years.
Wow.
So I mean, it depends on how much of those chemicals are needed, which, by the way, we have a proportioner on our truck, so nothing is pre-mixed. It is not a one-size-fits-all with our chemicals. So we have the proportioner so that if the back of your house, Tom, is worse than the front of your house, you're going to get 2 different settings for those chemicals, because we're going to use as little as possible, but as most as we need to kill everything. And so, that's one of the big differences between us and our competitors, is having that proportioner so that we're not just pre-mixing everything and dumping it on your roof.
Yeah, so that was my next question before Tom and I move on. You've mentioned many, many things that separate you from your competitor. So one final thought before, you provide your information, contact information for our audience to reach out to you. What would be the one thing that you feel separates Titan pressure washing from everybody else?
I think one of the key things is we're veteran owned and operated, and we give back to the veterans in our community.
Love it.
We partner with Project 23 to Zero, which is a nonprofit I affectionately call P23 because it's just easier to say. With P23, they help reduce the veteran suicide numbers daily down from 23 to 0. And so they do that through the resolution of PTSD through neurofeedback. And you can learn more about that on their website. But for us, it's very important because we've had friends and family pass from suicide. And, Casey is a veteran, so he's been in the military. He's seen the PTSD firsthand. And so for us, we give back to the community by partnering with any of the veteran nonprofits, and then we help raise funds for P23. And I think that's one of the biggest things that sets us apart. It's not even necessarily what we do on your roof or what we do, sealing or different things like that. It's how we give back to the community and how involved we are and how much we care about the veterans, which we have a lot in the Treasure Coast.
Absolutely. What branch did he serve?
He was in the Army National Guard.
All right. Well, Casey, thank you for your service.
Yes, absolutely.
All right. So, Sarah, we're going to move on to our next segment of the show, but we're going to include you in some Q&A to test your knowledge.
Oh, no.
Right?
This is where the hot seat is getting heated up.
All right.
I feel like a hot potato.
So we'll start with a quote of the day today. And how befitting is it that this comes from Thomas Jefferson, a day after our Independence Day. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men, of course, and women, are created equal. They are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are what? Life,
liberty,
and the pursuit
of happiness. So that is absolutely amazing quote by an amazing Thomas Jefferson. All right, so we talked about French kissing earlier, how nasty your dirty mouth is. So you might want to think twice before kissing. In one mouth alone, the number of bacteria can easily exceed the number of people on Earth. How many people are on Earth, do you think, Sarah?
Oh, I don't know. Several billion, I guess.
8
billion.
8 billion. Okay, well, I was a little bit off.
8 billion bacteria in your dirty little mouth. Woo! Brushing and flossing scare off bacteria for a little while. And some drown rather in the 2 liters of spit that you make each day. That's enough to fill a big soda bottle. But your mouth could never, ever be considered clean. Isn't that amazing?
Okay, but here's what I don't understand is the dog.
Yes.
We know what the dog licks.
Yes.
But the dog's mouth is supposedly
Yes.
has less than 8 billion.
So imagine that.
it?
So a dog licks himself and then kisses the owner in the mouth. Isn't that
Disgusting.
Yeah, how dirty
That's
that
the
dog's mouth gets from
perplexing?
But we love our dogs.
But we
We
love
do
our
love
dogs.
And
Our
we
dogs.
give them such freedoms that we don't give other people.
I prefer to not be kissed
Maybe
in
that's
the
where part
mouth
of the
by
8
my
billion
dog.
comes from.
Absolutely.
I will turn my head. She licks my hair
Licks
and
the
my
cheek,
forehead,
yeah.
my cheek, but not my lips or my mouth.
Yeah. That's why I'm
Ain't
a cat
happening.
person.
All right. So, Tom, let's before we do our Did You Know segment, let's kind of share what happened this day in history on July 5. You go ahead and start.
Absolutely. 1775, on July 5th, the Continental Congress adopts the Olive Branch Petition to King George III.
Yeah, trying to prevent war.
He must
But
have
that didn't work very
rejected
well.
that olive
Yeah,
branch.
Yeah, you know what he
must
did with
have.
that
So
olive
he got
branch.
another branch.
In London in 1865, preacher William Booth and his wife established the Christian mission, later known as the Salvation Army.
Absolutely. In 1865, 4 conspirators are court-martialed for plotting to kill Lincoln, Grant, and Andrew Johnson.
Yeah, Andrew Johnson signed their death warrant. So, and there were multiple conspirators, but 4 were the bad ones, and some female conspirators as well. In 1946, French designer Louis Réard unveils a daring 2-piece swimsuit in Paris.
No.
Yes.
Bikini.
Yes, incredulous.
was born. In 1954, Elvis Presley records That's All Right,
Mama.
Oh, it's one of
Yeah.
my favorites. I love Elvis.
Yeah, my aunt loves Elvis, and Kathy loves Elvis. All right, famous birthday. So, legendary showman and prankster and entrepreneur P.T. Barnum was born. Barnum
Bailey Circus.
Yep.
Yeah, I went when I was little.
Yep.
That was
And what
great.
year was that?
Pretty
Do we
cool.
know?
When he was born?
Yeah.
I
A
neglected to
long
put that in,
time
but I
ago.
thought it was like around early 1800s. I
Okay.
don't have
We're
that.
giving everyone homework.
All right,
Find out
so,
what year he was born.
well, you know, Evan 9 is on the computer, so you could probably look it up. P.T. Barnum. What year was P.T. Barnum born?
Should we all guess? I'm going to guess 1806.
I'm going to guess
1806.
1810.
Yeah.
I'm going to 1811. Closest one wins.
What is
July 5th. 1810, baby!
Oh, look at that. Look at that.
Oh, subliminal information was
Thank you,
planted
Were
Evan.
you looking at the
brain.
computer?
I didn't see that. He didn't put, no way, man. I don't cheat. I'm not a cheater.
You guys were
I am not a
so
crook.
on.
All right, so moving on. Did you know 9 fun and intriguing facts about Independence Day before we go on our second and last break? So, number 1, the Statue of Liberty is America's symbol of freedom. We all know that. The torch represents enlightenment, and it lights the path to liberty and freedom. The official name is Liberty Enlightening the World.
Number 2, 3 presidents actually died on July 4th. That's Thomas Jefferson in 1826, John Adams in 1826, and James Monroe in 1831.
Isn't that amazing that 2 presidents died on the same day in
the same
1826? That is really weird. Number 3, President Calvin Coolidge, who I love to quote. He has a phenomenal quote about persistence and determination. But Calvin Coolidge was born on July 4, 1872, putting him forever into the history books.
Each year, Americans light about 200 million pounds of fireworks. Wow. And most of them are imported from
China.
$250 million worth.
You're welcome.
Wow.
China. Number 5, 65% of Americans own an American flag. But guess where most of these flags are made, Sarah?
Afghanistan.
China.
Never again.
Disgusting.
Ben Franklin wanted the national bird to be a
Gobble,
gobble, gobble, gobble. Turkey. He said the bald eagle is a bird of bad moral character. The turkey is a more respectable bird. I've never seen the moral test done on an animal.
No.
Maybe Tom, maybe you and I could bring a turkey and a bald eagle on our show sometime and let them fight it out to see who has more morality and more respectable.
Start a sort of a cause to change it to the turkey.
I mean, the bald eagle's certainly going to give you respect and be quiet during your radio show. The turkey's going to gobble, 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 take the attention away. I mean,
okay, good point.
Maybe the turkey's respectable because it's more delicious.
Yes.
No, that's delectable.
Delectable. It is delectable.
That's what he meant.
Bird.
Maybe that's what he meant.
All right. So to number 7, the first week of July is typically the busiest travel week of the year in the United States. What are some of the most popular traveling destinations?
I mean,
Orlando.
Orlando, yeah, is what I was going to say. The Keys.
Oh, in
yeah.
Florida,
Route 66.
Okay.
And
Grand
the California
Canyon.
coastal coast. So those are like the big ones.
The big ones. Okay. Future presidents John Adams and Thomas Jefferson both signed the Declaration of Independence, and they were the guys that both died on the same day.
Yes. And then
Not
finally,
the same year.
Not the same year they
Yeah,
signed.
yeah, of course.
the same year. Yeah, they both died in 1826.
But not the same year they
signed.
Oh,
That's what I
correct.
meant.
All right. Ironically, on July 4th, 1946, the Treaty of Manila. Tom, you've been to Manila.
I lived in Manila.
You lived in
lived
Manila,
I lived in the
too?
Philippines.
Well,
Well,
I lived in
I
there.
lived outside of Manila in Baliwag, in Bulacan.
Bulacan.
But I spent a lot of time in Manila.
Both
I
of you
lived in
been,
Makati. And
Oh yeah,
traveled
I
all
was in
throughout the
Makati a
Philippines.
lot.
Pretty
A
cool.
lot there.
Oh, of course.
Well, the Treaty of Manila was signed in the Philippines, giving them independence from whom?
I know
Tom?
this.
Oh, I know.
Oh, okay. Sarah, who did they get their independence from?
The Spanish, right? Spain.
In 1946.
Oh, in 46. I know they abandoned the Air Force Base and gave it back to us. Oh my gosh.
U.S.
Hey, yeah.
We
We
got it
abandoned
after the
and then
Spanish-American War.
Yeah, okay, that's what I was thinking of with the
Yes,
Spaniards,
yes.
but yeah.
And that's why
See,
they're one of the top
right.
English-speaking countries in the world.
Obviously,
So we're
I was
gonna
there
we're
for
gonna go
other
to our
reasons
next
in
break of the
history.
show,
Oh, yeah.
and when
Very
we come
cool.
back, we're gonna hit you guys and gals up with information on life insurance. We're gonna be MythBusters this morning. Stay tuned. You're watching WSTU, listening to us on WSTU 1450 and WPSL 1590, the Quality of Life Radio Show, baby.
Hello, this is Gary Owen of the Owen Insurance Group. We are a local independent insurance agency located right here on the Treasure Coast. I've been a resident here for 34 years and have helped thousands of clients with their insurance planning needs. We specialize in life, health, and Medicare insurance planning. Don't travel the road alone. Let us be your guide. We are the Owen Insurance Group. Contact us today at 772-210-1020 or visit our website at oweninsurancegroup.net.
You are listening to WSTU, Stewart, Jensen Beach, Hope Sound, Martin County's Heritage Station.
All right, welcome back to the Quality of Life Radio Show. You know, we forgot to have our guest share her contact information as well.
Oh, yes,
on
I got
the
sidetracked.
show. We both got sidetracked. So, Sarah, how do our listening audience reach you if they want to call you? Well, not you specifically, because you're not
Well,
going to go on the roof. Are you going to go on the roof, or is Casey go on the roof to do the inspection?
So I
Quote.
actually have a roof stick so that I don't have to carry around a ladder, so I can see what's going on in your roof from the ground, which I love. Makes my job so much easier.
That is really
Yes, but
cool.
they can call 772-245-0402.
Oh,
Or they can get on our website at TitanPW for pressure washing, TitanPW.com. You'll be able to see before and afters, read the testimonials, look at everything we do, and find out how we're different than the competitors. And you can also learn more about P23 on the website as well.
Love it. All right. Very good. There you go. 772-245-0402, Titan Pressure Washing. And then also, if you have questions or you need help related to insurance planning or insurance solutions, you can call us here at Owen Insurance Group at 772-210-1020. All right. That's going to be a quiz for you later,
Yeah,
so we're going to ask you
210.
what our number is. So, or you can dial.
I already forgot 210 something 20.
I love it.
I've failed already.
Or 772-210.
Yes.
1020.
All right.
Oh, okay. I can remember it that way. 1020.
So you like
our way.
You like 772-210-1020 better than 210-1020?
Well, I actually like 210-1020.
Oh my! What a
dyslexia
politician!
going on here. I like it.
She's-
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Very good.
Everybody on planet Earth should have a life insurance policy.
Agreed.
Everybody in the studio has a life insurance policy. And only half of Americans today have a life insurance policy. In fact, I have 3 on myself.
I have 3 as well.
See, there you go. I mean, there's a reason why there's
You
life
should have
insurance.
4. You should
I should.
really
I
have
should
4.
really look into that.
Well, come by the office. We'll take care of that later. Have you and Casey come in. And by the way, the half of Americans that do have life insurance in place, the majority of those Americans don't have enough life insurance. So, it's important that we're going to go through some facts and figures of how people get their life insurance. And, more and more millennials are going on the internet to find life insurance. But that really is not a suitable way to purchase life insurance.
Definitely not.
Just to let everybody know, I am a graduate of the American College. I am a Life Underwriting Training Council Fellow. So when it comes to life insurance planning, that is my job, that is my passion, and we can certainly help you. But there's a lot of myths that we want to bust this morning, Tom, about that. Before we get there, though, I want to share some information about life insurance. So 50% of Americans overestimate the cost of term life insurance. And by the way, we were talking about term life insurance in the studio this morning before we started the show. Just to let you know, Sarah, maybe you might know the answer to this. What is the percentage of term life policies that don't pay out? And I'll explain to it why. But so out of 100%, what do you think is the percentage of term life insurance policies that actually get paid out?
I feel like it's a trick question, so I'm not sure where to go. I'm going to go with 33%.
2%.
Wow.
2%. Why do you think that is? Think about term policy. What does that mean? Do you know what that means?
Well, it's for a set amount of time.
Correct.
I mean,
So
I've
in
got 30-year terms
Right.
and 20-year terms on
Yeah.
mine. Yeah.
So a lot of people, when either they don't know or they don't follow or they can't afford, once that 20 or 30-year term expires, they can no longer, either due to health, underwriting, or premium costs, can no longer afford another term policy. So, or they just cancel the policy. So these carriers are making tons of money.
I know. I've never understood why you pay
on
into it
term
and then
life.
cancel.
But anyway, the average millennials overestimate the cost by 213%. We're going to give you an example of a premium for a 30-year-old male and female here a little bit later on in the show.
I can tell you what I paid when I was 18. Too.
Oh my God!
You'd be shocked.
Nothing. Yeah, like
You'd be
what?
shocked.
$6.
$5.
It was $186 a year for a $250,000 policy.
Yeah.
About $15 a month.
And it's gone.
Yeah.
And it's gone down since then. So wait till I. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's gone down. All right. So the average premium for a male rises over 250% between the ages of 25 and 50. So is it important, do you think, to get life insurance when you're younger or when you're older?
When you're younger.
Yes.
Whoa.
Yes.
Whoa.
I know.
So what affects the rates of life insurance, do you think?
Well, part of it is your physical health, your mental health,
Yep.
your age,
Yep,
your
age.
sex,
Yep.
your
Smoking status.
Yep. And which, by the way, vaping. Answer this question: is vaping considered smoking when it comes to your life insurance policy?
Absolutely
yes, it is.
Yes.
A lot of people think it's not.
That's right. Yep. So you're spot on. I mean, if
I've been through this.
If for whatever reason, Casey and you get angry at one another and you want to go on a separate route, you can always become a life insurance agent. So just let you know, you already have it down. What about suicide? So if someone commits suicide with a life insurance policy, will that pay out, Sarah?
Well, it really depends. I mean, like, for example, on mine, within the first 2 years, no. But after that, yes.
Look at this
it
girl.
depends.
She knows the answers,
It depends.
man. This is awesome. So after 2 years, the suicide clause will go away, and then the
of
carriers
course, they don't
will
want
have
to pay. You get a $250,000 policy, you go kill yourself so your spouse can have the money. I mean, that's not
the first
fair
2
to the
years,
insurance
no,
company.
of course not.
No.
And then also, if you're committing a felony, will it pay if that person committed a felony?
Not if you die while committing
a
felony.
All right, very good. What about if the policyholder was murdered by the beneficiary? Like the husband murdered this? No.
Pay out. So sorry, bad husbands and wives.
All right. So. So do you think you're doing well? I'm impressed, Sarah.
I was an A+ straight A student.
Were you
so
an
I
agent?
tried to.
Oh my goodness.
I was not an agent,
okay.
but I tried to educate myself. For me, this is really important because
this is awesome.
I didn't grow up with a lot of money, and I wanted to make sure that whoever was left behind did not struggle trying to take care of me, but also had money to go enjoy their life as a gift from me.
That's right.
And Owen Insurance Group's phone number is
210-1020.
Wow.
Woo!
There she goes.
One of the first to get it.
Love it.
First time.
Do you think that the premium on a life insurance policy is less expensive on a male or on a female?
Less expensive on a female.
Why?
We tend to live longer.
Yes, you do.
Right.
Why does the man die before the woman?
I mean, honestly, in my opinion, they do a lot of physical work that women don't do typically.
No,
obviously,
the appropriate
women,
answer is because we want to.
Oh, okay. You're sick of the nagging.
Oh, we didn't say that, but
it was inferred, Tom. It was
shoe
inferred.
Okay, let's see here. Some other cool information. Oh, in 2019, life insurance benefits and claims totaled over $762 billion. That's a lot
and only
of claims.
2% didn't pay out.
Isn't that amazing?
Wow.
Yep, isn't that amazing? Term life.
Sorry, yes, term life.
And so, how many different types of life insurance? So you got term. What else is there?
This is where I fail.
Okay, well that's okay.
Because I always went with term. I know that there's one that you can get life insurance that starts to cover like the death benefits right away. So there's like an immediate payout or something like that. And then there's one that you can draw money out of while you're still alive.
Whole life.
Whole life, that's what it is.
Universal life.
And universal, I don't know anything about.
Universal life. And final expense.
There you go.
And of course in term. And ART, annual renewable terms, which I don't really recommend. So anyway, depending on the scenario, let's see.
So I'm down to an A- now. I missed one.
You're doing very, very well. Very, very well. Let's see. The premium of life insurance increases on average 8 to 10% every year of age that you wait. So the cool thing is life insurance, once you lock in the premium, the rates do not go up, right? So it's important that, if you're sitting there, if you're a 30-year-old millennial sitting there listening to the show, number one, congratulations. You are
You
cool
found the AM button.
as a cucumber, man. That's awesome. But you lock in for a 20-year or 30-year rate, your rates will not go up. But it's important that you sit down and strategize about your life insurance planning needs. And this is what we're here for. So Tom and I can help and assist you with that. So what about children, Sarah? Do you think children, there are some people that say that is disgusting to put life insurance on a child.
I mean, accidents happen. Let's be honest. I mean, who expects their child to die? But look at the statistics of how many children pass away. And so after my brother passed, I found out that my dad had policies on all of us kids. And I had no idea, but it was, why would I have any idea there was a kid? But it was something that he even recognized was very important to do because funerals are expensive, and you're in grief. That is the last thing you want to focus on.
And not only that, but would it be cool to put together a permanent policy, an IUL or universal life policy, or a permanent policy for a child when they're young, and then when they're, graduate high school, you turn over the policy, the ownership of that policy to your child now that they're 22 or 23 or 25, whatever year you want to give that over to them. And now that has, several thousand, maybe tens of thousands of dollars in benefits for that child, right? And cash value for that child. So it's pretty cool.
Help with college and different things.
Exactly right. Exactly right. 42% of millennials, listen to me, millennials, estimate $250,000 term life policy for a healthy individual would cost over $1,000 a year. But it's only like $160 a year. So 38% of millennials refrain from purchasing coverage because they fear they won't qualify.
But it's free to try and qualify, so what does it matter?
Oh, wait a minute. How much does it cost to try to qualify?
It's free.
Free. Okay. There you go. Beautiful. And let's see. Tom, let's go over the rates real quick for a $250,000 20-year term female. How much is it a month?
Hold your seats. $12.91 per month.
I know. Very affordable.
$12.91 a month for a $250,000. So in other words, if I give you a penny, you give me a penny, and I give you back $100, is that a good deal?
I would say
that's a great deal.
That's
what life insurance does for you, right?
It's 2 coffees at Starbucks a month.
My God. For a male, it's a little bit higher. $15.09 for a male. And then, by the way, there are term life policies out there, as well as permanent, that have living benefits, right? Living benefits. That means that you don't have to die to use. So, God forbid, if you came down with a critical chronic illness, cancer, or stroke, or heart attack, you could use a portion of your death benefits to cover those life events. And the premiums are only would only go like $1.50 a month more to have that type of policy.
That's great.
I mean, it's amazing. Absolutely amazing.
People just need to know what their options are.
And who do they call, Sarah, if they want to know their options?
They call Owen Insurance
at
210-1020.
Whoop, whoop. All right.
210-1020.
And by the way, you got to put 772
in front of it.
There you go. So, Tom, myth number 1. We'll go through these real quick because we got like 3 minutes left.
So, one myth is that life insurance is only for healthy, middle-aged adults. The fact is, you're never too old or too young to purchase life insurance, and it's true that your costs will increase as you age, and that illnesses or certain risk factors may pay more, but there are life insurance policies available for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and we talked about myth number 2 already, where I'm single or married with no children, so I don't need life insurance. Yes, you do. You got student loans, mortgages, that's right, car loans, final expenses, burial expenses that you say like that. Tom, let's see, what about myth number 4?
One myth is that my beneficiaries will have to pay income taxes on the proceeds of my life insurance policy, so I don't want to put a big tax burden on them. Well, life insurance benefits are generally income tax-free up to a certain threshold, and according to the IRS. However, any interest payments on top of the policy may be taxed.
And then, by the way, myth number 5 is that people who start out with a term life policy think that they cannot convert that to a permanent policy or whole life policy. You can in most cases, depending on the time frame. So you can convert a portion or all of your term life policy to a permanent policy. So that's pretty important to remember. Let's see. Myth number 9, Tom.
I draw no income. I don't need life insurance. Well, if you're a stay-at-home parent, you don't bring in an actual paycheck, but you're likely to provide services that could cost a lot of money to replace, such as childcare, daily transportation, cooking, and more. So life insurance benefits can help replace some of these costs. I had an individual who got a life insurance. He said, I need to put this on my wife because $300,000. The first $200,000 is for me to just drown myself in sorrows by drinking, and the other $100,000 will help pay for whatever my wife does at home.
That's a lot of
Well,
alcohol.
that was a
That is a lot of alcohol.
yes, and that's not something we recommend at Owen Insurance Group, but
And then
it was just a joke.
And then finally, if you have health issues, this myth says you cannot get life insurance, but you can in some cases. So again, all you got to do is call the experts here at Owen Insurance Group. We're located just north of the Roosevelt Bridge, 772-210 and 1020. By the way, we are already at our last minute of the show, so we want to thank you for tuning in. Sarah, thanks for being our guest. You did a great job this morning. And Tom and I will continue next week in espousing our knowledge on insurance planning needs. And our next guest of the show, we don't have one. So we're trying to get another special guest for next week. And thanks for joining us. Please share us with your friends, family, and neighbors. And remember, Treasure Coast and around the world, stay safe, be healthy, be happy, keep healthy, and be sure to enjoy your quality of life.